15 minutes before we get started. The women are up first, and this is a rematch of an early tournament game that happened down in Newtown. And Newtown, in that tournament, it was Lake Region who pulled away in the fourth quarter. It was tied at 38 between these two squads before Lake Region outscored the Tetons 16-10 in that final frame. We'd also like to welcome our friends coming in over at KZZY in Devil's Lake for joining us for this edition of Teton Basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, and we'll give you a good ride as these two teams battle up. Looking down at the court and noticing a few missing pieces out there for Lake Region State here today. They are missing 3 players on the squad after an incident caused 3 of them to be suspended for 2 games. That first game of suspension was last week on Thursday, which resulted in a 15-point loss for Lake Region against Bismarck State College. That snapped a 6-game win streak for the Royals. So the shorthanded Royals will be in action here at the Well in Williston, coming up against a full-strength Teton team. Tetons had some concerns early in the year. They are missing rotational player Kelsey Crossan, and she's been trying to break into that heavy rotation, but still has not seen much action. Other than that, Tetons are at full strength. Last game that the Tetons faced was up in Bottineau. Saw Brianna Oldell go down with a leg injury. Talked to Coach Triplett here earlier today, and he said that she is good to go. She was out helping off with the camp early today here at the Well in Williston, and then was a full participant at the 1 o'clock practice here in the Well, so she is good to go. Taking a look at these two teams, tail of the tapes as we get you ready for this fantastic matchup between Mondac Conference foes. Lake Region State coming into the game with a 13-4 overall record, 5-3 in conference. They're that 1-game losing streak, losing last week to Bismarck State. They're perfect 4-0 at home, 6-3 on the road, and 3-1 at neutral sites. They are shooting 69.8% through their first 17 games of the season, 41% from the field, 30% from beyond the arc, and 67% from the charity stripe. They're pulling down 38 rebounds per game and assisting on 16 of their made field goals, of which they are making 27 per game. They're getting to the line 13 times per contest, making 9 of those shots. Looking at rebounding, they're pulling down 28 defense rebounds per game, 9.5 offensive rebounds per contest, but they are operating at almost a -6 in the rebound differential. Looking at blocks, 2.7 blocks per contest. That may be a little bit lower today without any real rim protection down low for this Royals team. Fouling at a clip of 16 per. They're allowing 59 points per game, so they are a +10 per game in the point scoring margin. And they are limiting their opponents to shooting just 35% from the field and 28% from beyond the arc. Led in scoring are the Royals by fantastic guard Raven Robinson. She is averaging just about 15 points per game, 13.5 in conference play. So their offense will have to go through her primarily today. She'll be on a one-on-one battle most of the time with either Haley McDonald or Elizabeth Field as they look to clamp down on her and really stymie this Royal offense who can fill it in when they're hitting on all cylinders. Looking over at the Tetons, they are they're at a 9-6 record overall on the season, 5-3 in conference play, tied in the standings with 4th place with this Royals team. The winner will jump up in the spot to be at a tie with Bismarck State. And with the heavy conference action coming down the rest of January and into February, it's anyone's game for the regular season Mondac Conference crown heading into the tournament. Tetons are on a 3-game win streak, also having won 6 of their last 7 and have 7 wins in their last 10 outings. They're 3-2 here at the Well. Those 2 losses came early in the year, 2-2 away and 4-2 on neutral playing field. Through their first 15 games of the season, they have scored 65.9 points per contest, 42.6 shooting from the field, 27.5 from beyond the arc, and 64% from the charity stripe. They're pulling down 35 rebounds per game and assisting on 15 assists on their made baskets, of which they are making 25 field goals per game, so a good assist-to-field goal percentage. They've had good ball movement so far throughout the game. They are hitting on 4 of 17 of their three-pointer shot in the game, getting to the line 17 times per contest and knocking down 11. Rebounding, of those 35 rebounds they pull down, they are 25 defense, 9.9 offense, so just shy of 10 offensive rebounds per contest. And they are a plus 1.7 in the rebound margin. Turning the ball over 17 times per game, getting just shy of 9 steals, 2.5 blocks per game, fouling 15 times per contest. They are allowing 62 points per game, so they are a plus 3 in the scoring differential. For rebound differential, they are a plus 2, and their opponents, they're averaging them to being a negative 0.5. Shooting percentages that the Teton defense keeping their opponents a shooting just 38% from the field, although they are allowing 1/3 of the shots from beyond the arc to go in. We have 6 minutes left to go before we get underway with this one here from Williston. We're going to step aside for a 3-minute timeout, and we'll be back for more Tetons action as they take on Lake Region State right here on 660 Keys News Radio and KZZY. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Of all your choices for a financial institution, clearly the best is the West. Western Cooperative Credit Union is money done the Western way. WCCU provides you with good old-fashioned Western hospitality every time you walk through our door. We treat you like neighbors ought to treat each other, because that's just who we are, neighbors. So head west. You'll know you're here when you see the bison on our sign. Join the herd at Western Cooperative Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
McDonald's of Williston is proud to support all the Williston State Teton athletic teams and would like to wish them success this season. McDonald's would like to thank the community of Williston and the surrounding area for your patronage over the years. Hey, the next time you're in town, stop by McDonald's for a great meal or a quick snack. McDonald's of Williston. Breakfast, lunch, or dessert, come on into McDonald's of Williston. Proud to be a part of Teton Athletics and proud to be part of the Williston community.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
You don't have to drive hundreds of miles to get a great deal on a new or used vehicle. Price sells cars at Williston Auto. We're in the business of beating the deal from any dealer. Go ahead, shop around from Bismarck to Billings. Then bring us their best deal. We'll squish it like a bug and beat it like a rented mule. No animals or insects were injured while making this commercial. Price sells cars at Williston Auto and WillistonAuto.com. See dealer for details.
When you're looking for a new or a different home, seek the counsel of the professionals at Basin Brokers. Basin Brokers has offices in Plentywood, Montana, Watford City, and Williston. The realtors at Basin Brokers know the market and will help you find the home that fits your requirements and budget. They're happy to answer all your questions about the area. The real estate office you want to know is Basin Brokers in Watford City, Plentywood, and Williston. Find them online at basinbrokers.com.
G&G Pharmacy, an independent, locally owned retail pharmacy committed to providing you top-notch customer service from their friendly, fast, and knowledgeable staff. Open 7 days a week. G&G Pharmacy offers the convenience of a drive-through window and a traditional retail store. Melissa and Doug toys available at their downtown Service Drug location. And no more wondering when your prescription's ready. Use the mobile app or receive a text message when it's ready from G&G Pharmacy. 572-RXRX. That's 572-7979.
Welcome back, sports fans. Mike Ritter here at the Well in Williston. This is Teton basketball right here on 660 Keys News Radio, as well as we'd like to thank everyone joining down in Devil's Lake and the surrounding areas, also across the globe, as this is definitely an international game. Both teams boasting players from around the globe, so we like to give a tip of the hat to everyone tuning in for this version of Teton Athletics. About 2 minutes left to go before we get underway here from the Well in Williston. Teton hockey was in action. They were out to Colorado for the Big Mountain Classic. They've won 2 of their first 3 games down there. They beat Boise State 6-1 on Friday the 13th. University of Colorado up next. They won that one 2-1. They lost to perennial powerhouse University of Denver by the final of 6-2. And up today was University of Northern Colorado. No final on that one as of yet. If we get it, we will certainly relay that over to you. Hockey coming back through. They're going to continue their big trip on Wednesday. They will be playing the University of Montana in Missoula. Also another game for them on Thursday, as well as a home game for hockey on Sunday the 22nd. That will be up against number 1 team in the nation for ACHA Division II hockey in the University of Mary. So a big test for the Tetons here in the friendly confines of the Raymond Center, and they look to get and continue to build their resume. Hopefully they can sneak into that postseason. Under a minute left to go here in this one. Quickly, we'll take a look at what's coming up next this week for the Tetons, as it's going to be a busy next month and a half for Williston State. On Thursday, Williston State will be traveling to Bismarck to take on the Mystics of Bismarck State College. Looking over at what the Mystics have in store on Wednesday the 18th, they'll be at home against Dakota College at Bottineau. So more Mondat competition going all the way around for these two basketball teams. We are about 30 seconds away from the national anthem and starting lineups. And after this game concludes, 7:30 tip-off is planned for the men's action right here from the Well in Williston. We're going to step away for a 2-minute timeout while they have the national anthem, and then we'll be back here for the starting lineups and tip-off from Williston. You're listening to Teton Basketball on 660 Keys News Radio, Williston State College's YouTube page for the Tetons, as well as KZZY. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
On Sundays, your NFL team is always playing at Buffalo Wild Wings. With 63 HD TVs having the NFL package, you will not miss a minute of action. Enjoy wings, salads, sandwiches, and more as your teams take the field. Come in and fan up while enjoying the variety of beers on tap from kickoff to the final whistle. Located at 417 Rieger Drive in Williston, North Dakota, football lives here. Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beers, sports.
Performance Plus, something new from American State Bank and Trust Company, an account that fits your active lifestyle. Free digital banking services including bill pay, remote deposit, and e-statements, an instant issue debit card, limited ATM fee refunds, and no maintenance fees. Go to ASBT.com for terms and conditions and stop in our Main or North offices to open your new Performance Plus account. Banking the American State way. It's banking your way with Performance Plus. Member FDIC.
Invest in yourself at Williston State College.
Scholarship opportunities are available to local and regional students. Eligible students can receive up to $12,000 in tuition and fees.
Make an investment in your education and future with 13 CTE and 15 associate programs, including business management, cybersecurity, agriculture, massage therapy, nursing, petroleum automation, IT, welding, and diesel technology.
Let them help you with that investment in your life. Call 701-774-4200 or visit willistonstate.edu/scholarships.
So you need a new vehicle. You've done your homework, and a new Honda would be perfect. Reliable, fuel efficient, stylish, perfect. But where do you go? Why not your hometown Honda dealer, Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston. We have a nice selection of affordable new Hondas, and when it comes time for service, Ryan Honda's authorized Honda Service Center will keep your Honda running its best for years. Come see us today, your full-service hometown Honda dealership, Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston, or shop ryanhonda.net.
Mike, we're back here for Teton Basketball on 660 Keys News Radio and KZZY. Starting lineups for the Royals. Starting off, number 3, Raven Robinson, a 5'8 freshman guard from Minneapolis, Minnesota, joined by Brooke Klenig, a 5'8 freshman guard from Adelaide, Australia, wearing number 15. Next up, number 22, Kayla Fitzgerald, 5'10 freshman forward from Central Coast, Australia. Next up through the lineup, number 24, Taziana Hichi, a 5'8 sophomore guard from Corrientes, Argentina. And missed one out there. It looks like trying to find all the numbers we missed, and it's going to be number 23, Braylon Davis, a 6-foot freshman forward from Dunseith, North Dakota. Starting off for the Tetons. First out of the huddle is a 5'4 freshman guard from Grenora, North Dakota, Elizabeth Field. Next up, wearing number 4, a 5'9 sophomore guard from Melbourne, Australia, Emily Kurkowski. A 5'10 sophomore guard wearing number 11 from Canberra, Australia, Haley McDonald. A 5'9 redshirt sophomore forward from Freud, Montana, number 25, Sydney Labatt. A 6'2 sophomore center from Valladolid, Spain, number 33, Irene De La Fuente. Tetons are coached by Bill Triplett. Here for this edition of Teton basketball, and they are assisted by Laramie Schwenke. Tetons in the huddle, getting the last second coaching from Coach Triplett, and he likes to do this before every game, taking every second he has, making sure they know what to set up in as they get started. Tetons will have the height advantage. Coming off the bench for the Tetons will most likely be the first sub out into the court. Will be number 51, Yasmin Butler. She's a 6'5 freshman center from Wollongong, Australia, and she has really been developing as a strong performer out on the court. Out come the Tetons. They're going to be in their home whites with green trim Royals in their royal blue uniforms with the baby blue lettering and white trim. It'll be Labatt going up against Davis in the center circle. Here we go. Ball is up. Tip-off is going to be one over to the Tetons. Field picks it up in the backcourt. Here she comes, Tetons starting off on offense. 2-3 zone put up by the Royals, sinking down as they were without some key components here. Field swings it over to McDonald. Labatt flashing low post, knowing there. Up on top to Kurkowski. Kurkowski to McDonald again. Gets to the top of the perimeter, back to Field. Takes one dribble back to McDonald, surveying. Up on the high post is going to be to De La Fuente. A little runner up, and that's going to be no good. Tipped out. De La Fuente gets the offensive rebound, puts it up, and back in it goes. Tetons start off up on top, 2-0. Robinson bound the court for the Royals up on top. She'll swing it over to Fitzgerald. Little two-man motion around the top, picking it up on top. Little denial there to Huichi. Robinson, she'll back out, reset up the Royal offense. Screen flashing high by Davis. Robinson, double effort. Nice move to get through. Flips it up at point-blank range. No good. Pulled down by De La Fuente. McDonald's running the court. Cross-court, it goes to Kurkowski. Step back, baseline jumper. Up a little too hard over everything. Will be pulled down by McDonald. Tetons get it to De La Fuente. Bounce pass down low to Labatt. Reverse layup up and good. Sydney Labatt for 2. Labatt has had some offensive struggles here throughout the middle section of the year, but she looks like she may be coming along strong. Back comes Robinson up the court, swings it over to Fitzgerald. Now on the run is Klenig. Klenig cut off. Pass going to be tipped, but back it goes. Here comes the Royal drive, up point blank, no range. That time no good. Huichi there gets it. Offensive rebound down once again to the Tetons. Field to De La Fuente, swings it over to McDonald on the near post. Labatt gets it down to De La Fuente, flips it up off the board, no good. Another offensive rebound by the Tetons. Labatt skips it back out on top to McDonald. Cross court to Kurkowski. Field back to Kurkowski, moves her way back to the top of the perimeter. Bounce pass down to the low block, give and go to the mid-post range to De La Fuente. Drop step gets up and in for 2 more. Irene De La Fuente has 4 within the first 2 minutes. 8 minutes left to go on the scoreboard, your American State Bank scoreboard. Here comes Fitzgerald. She's going to swing it up to the high post to Davis. Davis cut off, hands it off over to Huichi. She drives, jump stop, and there's going to be a takeaway. Coach Triplett wants a charge, but they say play on. McDonald stops, flips it up to Field. Field across the timeline. 7:40 left to go in quarter number 1. She finds De La Fuente up on top. Kurkowski in the corner to McDonald, looking on the baseline. Cross court, it's going to go down low once again to De La Fuente. Picks it up, steps through, puts it up, and that's going to be no good. Gets her own rebound, back up it goes, and that one is in there. Irene De La Fuente with 6 points. She has 6 of the first 8 points of the game, all for the Tetons, and there's going to be a timeout on the court called by Lake Region State. It's going to be a short one. We'll take a short one as well. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Of all your choices for a financial institution, clearly the best is the West. Western Cooperative Credit Union is money done the Western way. WCCU provides you with good old-fashioned Western hospitality every time you walk through our door. We treat you like neighbors ought to treat each other, because that's just who we are, neighbors. So head west. You'll know you're here when you see the bison on our sign. Join the herd at Western Cooperative Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Mike Ripper back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio and KZZY. They extended that 30-second out to a minute, but it has been all Tetons. Lake Region having trouble with Irene De La Fuente, who is just camping in that mid-zone region, and she is able to catch it and some offensive rebounds. Tetons already have 3 offensive rebounds in the first 2.5 minutes of the game. Lake Region State trying not to fall into a huge hole to start things off. Tetons out on the court. Here comes Lake Region State, and they are set and ready to go. Davis is going to get it into Robinson. She'll march it up the court for Lake Region. Tetons man-to-man defense. Get it out up on top, swinging around the perimeter. Back to Robinson, trying to turn the corner on field. Reverse to dribbles, tries to attack again. Spin move, fade away, puts it up. That's going to be off the mark, no good. Labatt pulls down the rebound for the Tetons. Here comes Field, pushing it up the court. De La Fuente up on top, looking for Kurkowski. Finally finds her after a good jab step. Now back, swinging around the perimeter. McDonald on the far wing, down in the corner to Field. Labatt, bounce pass underneath, tipped away from De La Fuente. Here comes Robinson. She's going to get it up to Klinik. Klinik down low with McDonald. Gets a good stop, back step, and she gets it up and in. So now Tetons only up by 6, 8-2. Kurkowski bringing it up the timeline. Little confusion for the Tetons on the inbound. De La Fuente over to Kurkowski, now to Field. Looking baseline, nothing there. Back up on top to Kurkowski. Touch pass down to De La Fuente, underneath to Labatt. Puts it up too hard, but it rattles just off. Tipped out of bounds. Last touch by the Royals off the fingertips of Huichi. That will be inbound ball for the Tetons underneath their own basket. 6:21 remaining on the American State Bank scoreboard. Fresh 20 on the shot clock. McDonald bounce pass underneath is going to be tipped away, and that'll be coming back to the Royals. Robinson pushes it up the court. Tetons scrambling to get back on. Here comes Robinson taking Field. Loses the handle on the ball. She'll go back, looking to dump it off underneath. Nothing there. Swing it back around. That's going to go to Davis. Now up on top to Huichi. She thinks about a step through shot. No good. Swings it into the corner. Up nothing there. Going to be pulled down by the Tetons. Field just about lost it off of her hand. There was a shot from the corner by Fitzgerald. Her first from the outside, and she is a dangerous sharpshooter. Middle post area, give and go, down low, underneath to Labatt. Tips it up in the air, tips again. Finally comes down to De La Fuente. Team rebound on the offensive end. De La Fuente from the mid-range area on the baseline, and that one's going to rattle home. Now De La Fuente has 8, 5:34 left in the first quarter. Robinson back up the court for Lake Region. She'll hand it off. Dumps it up to Fitzgerald, off on the drive. Swing pass intercepted by De La Fuente. Tetons take control, looking to pour it on. They can take a double-digit lead here on this possession. Long pass to Field. They get it to De La Fuente. She's cut off as they're sinking down on her and D. Kurkowski pulls the trigger from deep. Off the mark, no good. Pulled down by Davis. She's hounded by a couple of defenders. Up it'll go to Fitzgerald. Cross court to Robinson. But the leading pass was just a little bit too long. That'll be a turnover on the Royals. And will give the ball back to Williston State here. 5:05 left to go. Next stoppage in play will be a media timeout. A couple of subs coming in for Lake Region State as Elizabeth Field and company march back down on offense one more time. McDonald from the far wing, back up on top to Field, looking to that mid-post area, nothing there. Kurkowski dribbling down to the wing, up on top to De La Fuente. High pass over to McDonald, takes a step in, and that's going to be buried from just inside the perimeter. 12-2, Tetons on a run here to start off the game. Here comes Raven Robinson up the court for Lake Region State. She'll hand it off to Fitzgerald, who moves around the perimeter, hands it off to Huichi. Bounce pass over to Robinson. Thought about shooting over top of Field and does. That one's in and out, no good. Tipped up in the air. De La Fuente comes down with it again. She's been a rebounding machine. Long pass going to be stolen out of there by Lake Region State. Scramble on the floor. Came away is Carla Moros. Finally gets it off to Huichi. She'll push it up with a head of steam. She's going to drive on De La Fuente. Out of control, but gets it up there. No call, and there's going to be McDonald who comes down to the ball, but she stepped on the end line here with 4:09 left to go. Coming out of the game is Fitzgerald. Back in is Brooke Klenig. Robinson set to inbound from the baseline. Gets it into Klenig. Hands it back off to Robinson. Gets to the elbow. Kicks it off into the corner to Huichi. Pulls the trigger from long range. Up no good. De La Fuente with the board. Off to Field it goes. 4 exactly on the scoreboard as the Tetons are trying to extend their 10-point lead. Kurkowski to Field, high post to De La Fuente. She's swallowed up on defense. Field has it over to Kurkowski again. Back up to Field. Tetons playing keep away. McDonald thought about driving. Step back jumper. That's going to be soft. But there's going to be Field who comes away with the rebound into the corner to Kurkowski. Pulls the trigger, and that one is in there. Dip, potato chip. Emily Kurkowski from long range. 15-2. Tetons starting off hot. Raven Robinson back up the court. She'll get it off to Huichi. Back to Robinson. And she walks her way to the near wing. Picks up a screen around. And there's going to be an offensive foul called on Jackson DeLorme as she was moving her shoulders and hips just a little bit on that screen. That's the first team foul called all game long. And Tetons will get the ball back. 3:21 remaining on the American State Bank scoreboard. Elizabeth Field marching back up. Tetons have not subbed yet here in the first quarter. De La Fuente to Field. McDonald on the far wing looking down low for Kurkowski. Labatt on the low post. Given away, but there's McDonald to come away with it. Over to De La Fuente. She has it at the cherry stripe. Swings it to Field. Back up to McDonald. Here comes another three. That's soft off the front of the rim. McDonald gets her own rebound. She pulls back out. Fresh 20 on the shot clock. Over to Kurkowski on the far wing. She takes a dribble. Robinson guarding her in her hip pocket. Up to McDonald. McDonald skip pass over to Kurkowski. He's going to drive baseline. Swings it through to Labatt. On the low post. Tries to muscle her way up. And bodies collapse. Nothing there. Here comes Uichi. Gets it up to Robinson. One-on-one with Field. And that's going to be forced up off the mark. No good. De La Fuente with the rebound. She's going to have close to a double-double before this first quarter comes to an end. Here comes Kurkowski to De La Fuente. Gets her way through. Flips it up. And that's going to be just off the mark. It's going to roll out. Picked up by Kurkowski. Another offensive board for the Tetons. De La Fuente skips it up on top. Now over to McDonald on the far wing. High post. Bounce pass. Overload to Labatt. She's hammered on the way up by Davis. That'll be Haley Labatt going to the line to shoot two. Just a second team foul on the Royals here in the first quarter. 2:15 remaining. Labatt at the stripe for a pair of shots. Back into the game will be Kayla Fitzgerald. And she'll go in for Robinson, who has done some heavy work out there, but only one shot has fallen so far for Lake Region State. First one by Labatt off the side of the iron, no good. She'll have one more. Tetons up 15-2. The redshirt sophomore, second one is up and good, extends the lead by one, 16-2. Up the court comes Klenig. Klenig across the timeline. She's pushed away to the far wing. Denial pass, good job by Labatt. Denying against Fitzgerald, tips the ball up the air, tips it again, going to come away with it. Now it's loose ball into the hands of Elizabeth Field. She's going to march the ball up the court. 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Kurkowski thought about pulling the trigger, now pulled it down, swinging around the perimeter for the Tetons. Up on top to De La Fuente. Labatt is hounding along that baseline, and that's McDonald from mid-range. Pulls it up, and she has four in the game. 18-2, back come the Royals up the court. Klenig has it on top of the perimeter, and just about another interception, but Davis has room to run, gets it down low, up and in it goes. 2 points going for the Royals. That one put in by DeLorme. Long pass to McDonald up on top to De La Fuente. Kurkowski has it on the far wing, down to the corner to Field. High post to De La Fuente, cross to McDonald. She takes a couple dribbles up on top to Kurkowski, who lets it fly off the mark, no good. Pulled down by Fitzgerald. She's going to look to run for the Royals. Gets it a little bit out of control, and she'll flip it up, and there's going to be a foul called on Haley McDonald, who made sure that there was no easy layup, just good across the wrist foul. Robinson coming into the game. She'll come in for DeLorme. That was the first personal, first team foul coming up against Haley McDonald. Couple of subs coming in with 1:06 left to go. 2 forwards coming in for the Tetons. In is the 6'5" freshman Yasmin Butler, also joined by the 6-foot freshman Kansas His Bad Horse. Fitzgerald at the line for a pair of shots. 1:06 left to go. Her first one is going to be soft off the front of the rim. No good. She'll have one more. Try to cut this Teton lead to just 13 points. Currently standing 18-4 on the American State Bank scoreboard. Caleb Fitzgerald, second one on the way. That one will be in. It goes. Both teams 1 for 2 from the charity stripe. Full court zone press. Long skip pass up to McDonald. Press beater pass. Kurkowski down into the far corner. Up on top to Field. She'll put it on the deck. Over goes to McDonald. Looking for His Bad Horse. Up on top to Field. To Kurkowski. Now to His Bad Horse in the corner. Looking for Butler, who's fighting down low. Can't quite get it to her. McDonald, long pass to Butler, gets it down there, drop step. She's going to be stripped into the hands of His Bad Horse. Puts it up, no good. Pulled down by Huichi. Huichi pushes it up the court, trying to take McDonald. She gets it to the charity stripe, and that rolls in there for 2 more. Lead is down to 11 for the Tetons. 28 seconds left to go in quarter number 1. Elizabeth Field marching back up the court. More zone defense. It's more now of a shell and one down low underneath for Butler. McDonald on the wing, up to the corner to Kurkowski. Now to McDonald looking down low for Butler, a little too strong, and Butler tries to save it from going out of bounds, and just off her fingertips trying to save it to Elizabeth Field. Another turnover on the Tetons, and the Royals have a chance to cut it to single-digit deficit here with 8.5 seconds left to go. Robinson picks it up. She'll take it to the perimeter. She's going to drive on Elizabeth Field, and there's going to be a foul called on the Tetons and Field. They say they had a hold. 2.7 seconds left. That's going to be first on Field, second team foul. Underneath it's going to go, and that one is up and in right before time expired. So a defensive mishap for the Tetons, and it's a 9-point lead going into the break of quarter number 1. 18-9 on the American State Bank scoreboard. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout and be back for the second quarter. You're listening to Teton Basketball right here on 660 Keys News Radio and KZZY.
From their humble beginnings in 1910 through 4 generations, family-owned First International Bank and Trust has been delivering on the promise to help dreams come true, one customer at a time. Their style of banking places the focus on you first and your overall experience, keeping your best interests in mind and striving to provide smart financial solutions that improve and simplify your life, letting you get back to what matters most. First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
Mike Cooper back here for Teton basketball. Ball is in play. Royals have it up on top. Hooking around a screen is Kalenic. Gets down to the low post. Kicks it out to the outside. 3-point shot up and no good. Kurkowski pulls it down and pushes up the court. Tetons had a huge lead in the first, but some defensive, let's call it, breakdowns caused the Royals to come back in, and Haley McDonald knocks one down from the outside, extends the lead back to 12, 21-9. Robinson gets it up to Fitzgerald, who marched it down the court. Now back to Robinson on the far wing, looking down low. High screen from Davis. Pull-up shot from the charity stripe, up no good. His Bad Horse comes down with the rebound. Field pushing it back up for the Tetons. 9:13 left in quarter number 2 on the American State Bank scoreboard. Field pump fake, now gets it over to Kurkowski. Back up on top. High post to His Bad Horse. Takes a couple of dribble. Out to Kurkowski. To Field. To McDonald. Ready, catch, and shoot. Knocks it down again. Another one. Back-to-back long balls for Haley McDonald. Leads back to 15, 24-9. Back comes Robinson and Lake Region State over to Fitzgerald. Gets it over to Klenning, up on top to Robinson again. 19 left on the shot clock. There's Clinic, flashes high, hands it off to Fitzgerald, step back, three-pointer blocked by his bad horse. Into the hands of Davis it goes, back to Fitzgerald, turning the corner, flips it up, blocked by Butler. It's a block party by the Tetons. Back comes Field, up the court. 8.5 left to go, into the corner to Kurkowski, force it down to Butler, turns around, flips it up. Yasmin Butler has 2 points in the game. Here comes Lake Region, now trailing 26-9. Tetons fired up here to start this second quarter. Subs for each team getting set to check in. Three-pointer coming for Fitzgerald. She knocks that one down. We saw down in Newtown, she is a dangerous sharpshooter from the outside. 26-12. McDonald up the court for the Tetons. Over to his bad horse. Back to McDonald, now to Field on the far wing. Flashing high is his bad horse. Turnaround jumper from the elbow, up no good. Pulled down by the Royals. Kicks it up to Robinson, who marches past the timeline. Skips it down low to Davis. Has trouble getting a hold of it. Reverse layup. That's blocked by Butler. She has 2 blocks in the last 45 seconds. McDonald jogging it up. Going to set up the Teton offense in the half court. A little hezzy step, gets it over to Field. Field force it, bounce pass down to his bad horse. Kicks it out to Kurkowski on the drive. Gets into the paint. Little runner up and good. Emily Kurkowski with 2 more. 28-12. Back comes the Royals trying to keep pace with this high-powered Teton team. Robinson, good recovery by Kurkowski. She gets by Kurkowski and lays it up and in. So a little Teton breakdown, and Coach Triplett yelling at his team, hey, we can't have any more of those breakdowns. 14-point lead for Williston State, 28-14. Kurkowski has it on the wing, up on top to his bad horse. Swing pass over to McDonald, who takes a step off. Field looking down low, nothing there. Up on top to McDonald, lets it fly again. And that one's not going to hit anything. Looks like, and that one came up well short, splashed the net, went out of bounds for a Teton turnover. Coming into the game for the first time for Williston State is going to be number 31, Brianna Oldelk. A couple of subs coming out of the game for the Royals. Fitzgerald and Klenig coming out. Robinson back in. Get it over to Huichi. Back to Robinson. Davis coming with the screen. Robinson pulls the trigger off the pick and roll. Nothing there. Pulled down by Oldelk. Gets it up to McDonald, who will push it up the court. Down the right side. Over to Oldelk, back to McDonald. High post to his bad horse. Back to Oldelk, up on top to McDonald. Kurkowski wide open for 3. No good. That'll be pulled down by Oldelk. Another offensive board. Down low to his bad horse. And she's going to lose it off the dribble, and it'll stay with Lake Region State. Didn't see anything there, but we'll go with what the officials say here. 28-14, 6:16 left to go in quarter number 2 on the American State Bank scoreboard. Inbound pass goes to Butler. Up and on top to McDonald. Long pass to Oldelk. She'll put one bounce. Now to his bad horse. Back to Oldelk. Oldelk to McDonald. 5 on the shot clock. Kurkowski again from long range. Got it to go! Emily Kurkowski fires it from deep and finds the bottom of the bucket. 31-14, Tetons cruising. Back comes Robinson. Swings it over to Davis on the perimeter. Up on top to DeLorme. And there's going to be a whistle and a travel called on DeLorme. That'll turn the ball back over to Williston State here with 5:49 remaining in the first half. Brianna Oldelk set to inbound the ball. Kylie Oldelk coming into the game. She'll come in for Haley McDonald. De La Fuente and Labatt also set to check in. So Kurkowski now the only one out on the court for Williston State who has not seen any time on the bench. Brianna gets it into Kylie. The Oldelk twins marching it up the court. Brianna on the far wing, bounce pass over to Kylie, high post to De La Fuente, looking down low for Labatt, gets it over to Brianna, now to Kylie, pulls the trigger, that one's on the way, just rims out, no good. Scramble, ball hits the deck, team rebound for the Royals, gets it up to Robinson. She'll push it up the court, one-on-one. Little breakdown, good defense by Kylie Oldelk. Gets to the high post, kicks it out on top to Fitzgerald, tries for the foot fake. Labatt, the best on-ball defender besides Field, kicks out to Fitzgerald from the perimeter. She knocks it down. That's her second long ball of the game. Back come the Tetons. Tipped by Fitzgerald. Brianna Oldelk. Pass intended for Kylie is going to be tipped out by Fitzgerald. Tetons will inbound from the near sideline. Brianna gets it into Kylie. Back to Brianna. Looking for De La Fuente. Skip pass over to Kurkowski. Takes a couple of dribbles up to the top. Looking down low, they find Labatt. Labatt give and go, and there, she's going to dribble it out. Just got bumped off her spot. Up on top, Brianna Oldelk. Backwards pass, try to thread the needle a little too much, and that's going to come away for the Tetons, and there's going to be a travel called after a bunch of calamity. They'll call the travel on Sydney Labatt with 4:49 left to go in the half. 31-19, Tetons up on top. It's a media timeout. We'll be back for more Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio and KCCY in 1 minute.
McDonald's of Williston is proud to support all the Williston State Teton athletic teams and would like to wish them success this season. McDonald's would like to thank the community of Williston and the surrounding area for your patronage over the years. Hey, the next time you're in town, stop by McDonald's for a great meal or a quick snack. McDonald's of Williston. Breakfast, lunch, or dessert, come on into McDonald's of Williston. Proud to be a part of Teton Athletics and proud to be part of the Williston community.
You don't have to drive hundreds of miles to get a great deal on a new or used vehicle. Price sells cars at Williston Auto. We're in the business of beating the deal from any dealer. Go ahead, shop around from Bismarck to Billings. Then bring us their best deal. We'll squish it like a bug and beat it like a rented mule. No animals or insects were injured while making this commercial. Price sells cars at Williston Auto at WillistonAuto.com. See dealer for details.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio and KZZY. Lake Region State has the ball. Raven Robinson bringing it up the court across the timeline. 4:45 left to go. She'll hand it off to Fitzgerald in the high post. Back to Robinson. Up on top to Fitzgerald. She's knocked down 2 from the perimeter. She's going to drive. She'll be blocked, and it's going to be saved from going out of bounds by De La Fuente. They say she steps on the end line. That'll give the ball back to the Royals. No official change of possession was triggered, so they have 15 on the shot clock. Robinson set to trigger. Gets it in right away to Huichi. Back to Robinson. Pulls up jumper from 12 feet. That doesn't hit anything, and pulled down by Labatt. Gets it up to Brianna Oldelk. Marches it up the court. Under 4.5 left on the American State Bank scoreboard. Labatt on top to Oldelk. Kurkowski has it. Baseline to De La Fuente. Puts it on the deck. Takes a couple dribbles up on top. Goes to Brianna Oldelk. Back to Kurkowski. Looking down low. De La Fuente gets a good seal. Flips it over to Labatt. Puts it up. Lots of contact. No foul. Fitzgerald with the rebound. Here comes the Royals. Running out. Huichi has it. 1-on-2 break. Trying to get her way through. Throws one up, and that one's going to be called for a foul. That'll send Huichi to the line to shoot a pair with 3:59 remaining in quarter number 2. That's going to be number 1 on Kurkowski. First team foul in the second quarter. No team foul so far in the second quarter for the Royals. Huichi at the line. First one up and in. Makes it 31-18. One more shot coming for the 5'8 sophomore guard from Argentina. Second one at the stripe. She'll let it fly on the way. Off the hard, no good. Pulled down by the Tetons. Credit that as a team rebound. Brianna Oldelk marching it back up. Here she comes. More 2-3 zone defense by the Royals. Kylie Oldelk up to De La Fuente. Swing it over to the far wing to Kurkowski. Back to Kylie. Thought about a three-pointer. Didn't take it. Get it to De La Fuente on the low post. Steps through. Lots of contact. Again, she gets through. Not calling anything. Long outlet pass. Going to go over to Klenig. Klenig has a stop. Good defense by Kurkowski. A takeoff over by Huichi. She gets to the lane. Up and in it goes. She has 3 straight now for this Royals team. Lead is down to 11, 31-20. Brianna Oldelk has it along the near wing up to Kylie. Kurkowski from the far wing. Takes it up on top on the dribble. Over to De La Fuente looking for Labatt on the baseline. Give and go underneath to Kylie Oldelk. Trying to find Brianna. Brianna gets into the paint. Kicks it back out to Kurkowski. Quick three-pointer. No good. Offensive board by the Tetons. Up and in. Kylie Oldelk with the putback to extend the lead to 13, 30-22. Under 3 minutes left to play in the first. Field and McDonald set to check in at the next stop, and here comes Davis for the Royals. Robinson has the ball, turning the corner, trying to get into the paint, and she's going to be blocked down low by De La Fuente. Brianna Oldelk gets it up to Kurkowski, one-on-one with Huichi. She pulls out to the top, and she'll pull the trigger, knock it down. Emily Kurkowski from deep. Lead back to 16, 2.5 left to play. Robinson slowly jogging up, now crosses the timeline after she gets the call from her head coach. Fitzgerald, high post, going to go over to DeLorme. Hands Lorme on the elbow. She'll hand it off. They'll go off to Huichi. Kicks it off to Clinic. Clinic got away with the double drib there, pushing off, and got away with that little forearm shove against Kylie Oldelk. That'll turn the ball back over to the Tetons. 2:12 left on the American State Bank scoreboard in half number 1. Both Kylie and Brianna Oldelk exiting the game. Elizabeth Field and Haley McDonald coming back in. Tetons ball trying to extend that 16-point lead. Field to the top of the perimeter. Over to Kurkowski. High post. Flashes De La Fuente back to Field. McDonald looking down low. Nothing there. De La Fuente now as it's going to be Labatt. Post up. Gets it off to McDonald from the stripe. Up and no good. Pulled down by Fitzgerald. She's doing a lot of the dirty work. Robinson trying to get it down low to Glenning. Saves it, but right into the hands of McDonald. McDonald pushing. Seeing if Teton can find an avenue to get it. Pass is going to be just wide of Field, but she was able to scramble. De La Fuente drive. She gets baseline. She's going to be tripped up by Davis on the baseline. That's going to be just the second team foul on the Royals here with 1:36 left to go in the first half. So Davis picks up her second team foul in the quarter. Tetons going 4 on the post. Inbound from McDonald. Gets it up on top to Kurkowski. Slow developing to get out to McDonald's on the perimeter. Baseball pass to Labatt. Good over to De La Fuente. Scramble. She's going to be run into by Fitzgerald. And I think Fitzgerald got the worst of that one as she was a little staggered getting up. And hopefully she's okay. Looks like she was ran into the shoulder of De La Fuente and hit her eyebrow right on De La Fuente's shoulder. She'll stay in. Looks like she's okay, but she does look like she is a little hurting out there. McDonald has it, swings it over to Kurkowski. Long range it comes, no good. Pulled down by Huichi. She's going to flow it up to Robinson on the run out. Going to put it up and get it to drop on the run out. No release valve there for the Tetons on D. 36-22. 1:10 left to go. De La Fuente up on top. Now to Field. Puts it on the deck, down low for Labatt. Good seal, gets it up, and she's going to be fouled. Go to the line as Davis picks up number 3. So 4th team foul for the Royals here with 1:03 left to go in the first half. And that'll be a sub coming in. DeLorme will come in for Davis, not wanting her to pick up foul number 4 in the first half. Labatt at the stripe for a pair. Sydney's first one on the way. Too hard, no good. She'll have one more coming. Labatt has a line drive free throw shot. She's been 1 of 2 every time she goes to the line. See if she can knock that down, and that one is up and get good. Continues that. 37-22. Inbound pass from DeLorme to Robinson. She'll march it up the court, cross the timeline as the clock ticks down under a minute. Trying to work her way around, get towards the paint area, look to get it off to someone. Intercepted by Field. She'll move it up the court. She has Kurkowski on the side, open. Couldn't quite get it time for her to pull the trigger. Over to McDonald. Good recovery by Robinson. McDonald closes to De La Fuente. Field now on the wing. Gets it go. Tipped up in the air. Taken away there by Clinic. Clinic on Field. And there's going to be another offensive foul that got missed. He pushed off on Field, but the officials missed it, and that layup is up and good. 37-24. 25 seconds left to go in the half. McDonald gets it over to De La Fuente up on top. Back to McDonald. Swings it to Kurkowski on the far wing. Back up on top to McDonald. Now to Field. Shot clock is off. Tetons holding for the last shot. Labatt pulls it back out. Over to De La Fuente. Field. Kurkowski. 5 seconds left. Kurkowski gets it over into the corner to De La Fuente. 2 left on the clock. She puts it up, and that one off the rim as time expires. Tetons up by 13 at the break. 37-24. An exciting first half here from the Well in Williston. Tetons starting off strong, but the Royals not going away quietly. And anytime the Tetons look like they may be taking their foot off the gas just a little bit, Lake Region makes them pay by some long balls and some hustle plays. We'll have to see what Coach Bill Triplett has in store for his squad at halftime and what he has to say. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout, and we'll be back here for the halftime report here from Williston. You're listening to Teton Basketball right here on 660 Keys News Radio and KZZY.
From their humble beginnings in 1910 through 4 generations, Family-owned First International Bank and Trust has been delivering on the promise to help dreams come true, one customer at a time. Their style of banking places the focus on you first and your overall experience, keeping your best interests in mind and striving to provide smart financial solutions that improve and simplify your life, letting you get back to what matters most. First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
G&G Pharmacy, an independent, locally owned retail pharmacy committed to providing you top-notch customer service from their friendly, fast, and knowledgeable staff. Open 7 days a week. G&G Pharmacy offers the convenience of a drive-through window and a traditional retail store. Melissa and Doug toys available at their downtown Service Drug location. And no more wondering when your prescription's ready. Use the mobile app or receive a text message when it's ready from G&G Pharmacy. 572-RXRX. That's 572-7979.
On Sundays, your NFL team is always playing at Buffalo Wild Wings. With 63 HD TVs having the NFL package, you will not miss a minute of action. Enjoy wings, salads, sandwiches, and more as your teams take the field. Come in and fan up while enjoying the variety of beers on tap from kickoff to the final whistle. Located at 417 Rieger Drive in Williston, North Dakota, football lives here. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beers, sports.
Invest in yourself at Williston State College.
Scholarship opportunities are available to local and regional students. Eligible students can receive up to $12,000 in tuition and fees.
Make an investment in your education and future with 13 CTE and 15 associate programs, including business management, cybersecurity, agriculture, massage therapy, nursing, petroleum automation, IT, welding, and diesel technology.
Let them help you with that investment in your life. Call 701-774-4200 or visit willistonstate.edu/scholarship.
Performance Plus, something new from American State Bank and Trust Company, an account that fits your active lifestyle. Free digital banking services including bill pay, remote deposit, and e-statements, an instant issue debit card, limited ATM fee refunds, and no maintenance fees. Go to ASBT.com for terms and conditions and stop in our Main or North offices to open your new Performance Plus account. Banking the American State way. It's banking your way with Performance Plus. Member FDIC.
When you're looking for a new or a different home, seek the counsel of the professionals at Basin Brokers. Basin Brokers has offices in Plentywood, Montana, Watford City, and Williston. The realtors at Basin Brokers know the market and will help you find the home that fits your requirements and budget. They're happy to answer all your questions about the area. The real estate office you want to know is Basin Brokers in Watford City, Plentywood, and Williston. Find them online at basinbrokers.com.
Mike and we're back here for Teton Basketball on 660 Keys News Radio and KZZY. We are at halftime, 11 and a half minutes before we get underway with the second half, starting with the third quarter. But first, we'll take a look at how we got to the halftime score of 37-24 on the American State Bank scoreboard. Starting off with Lake Region State. They're led in scoring by Kyla Fitzgerald. She has 7 points at the break. 2 of 3 from downtown and 1 of 2 from the charity stripe. Brooke Klenig has 6 points at halftime, 3 of 3 from the field. 5 points by Tiziana Huichi. She is 2 of 6 from the floor, 1 of 2 from the charity stripe. 4 points by Raven Robinson, 2 of 10 shooting, and 2 points by Jackson Delorme. She is 1 of 1 from the field. In the first quarter, the Royals shot 4 of 12 from the field for 33%, 0 of 3 from downtown, and 1 of 2 from the charity stripe. In the second quarter, they were 6 of 13 for 46%, 2 of 5 from the field, and 1 of 2 from the stripe. Overall, in the first half, 10 of 25 from the field for 40%, 2 of 8 from downtown for 25%, and 2 of 4 from the line. Pulling down 11 rebounds, 9 defensive, 2 offensive. Kyla Fitzgerald leading the way with 4 rebounds, all on the defensive end. Taking a look at Williston State and how they got to their 37 points at the break. Emily Kurkowski leading the way with 11. She was 4 of 8 from the field, 3 of 7 from downtown. Haley McDonald, 4 of 7 from the field, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc. Irene De La Fuente with 8 points. She is 4 of 9 from the field. Sydney Labatt has 4 points, going 1 of 4 from the field and 2 of 4 from the charity stripe. 2 points by Kylie Oldelk, hitting 1 of her 2 shots, and 2 points for Yasmin Butler, with 1 of 1 shooting from the field. Anytime Butler got onto the court, the Royals abandoned their 2-3 defense and went to a shell and 1. They had 4 players guarding around the perimeter, and then 1 player stuck down low with Butler. Looking at Teton shooting in the first half, in the first quarter, started out strong, going 8 of 19 for 42%, 1 of 4 for 25% from beyond the arc, and 1 of 2 from the line. In quarter number 2, 7 of 15 for 46%, 4 of 8 from downtown for 50%, and 1 of 2 once again for the charity stripe at 50%. For the whole first half, Williston State was 15 of 34 for 44% shooting. Also 5 of 12 from deep for 41% and 50% from the line, hitting 2 of their 4 shots. Not a lot of fouls for either team. Rebounding for the Tetons, 25 total rebounds. They were a plus 14 on the rebound differential. They had 15 defensive rebounds and 10 offensive rebounds. Leading the way in rebounding for the Tetons is De La Fuente. She has 7 boards at the break, 5 defensive and 2 offensive rebounds. Also, 2 team offensive rebounds for the Tetons as balls have been tipped up after hitting the floor, and then someone in white has run along to pick it up. So Tetons plus 14 in rebounds. Tetons had 8 assists, 5 steals in the half, 2 blocks recorded. I believe it should be 3 blocks recorded because it was De La Fuente has at least 2 herself, and his bad horse has 1. 3 personal fouls for the Tetons compared to 6 for Lake Region State. No one with Williston State with more than 1. Field, Kurkowski, and McDonald with 1 foul each. For Lake Region State, it's Clenning with 1, Fitzgerald with 1, Davis with 3, and DeLorme with 1. 7.5 minutes left to go. We're going to take a quick 2-minute timeout, and we'll be back to break down some of the advanced statistics here from the Well in Williston. You're listening to Teton Basketball right here on 660 Keys News Radio and KZZY.
So you need a new vehicle. You've done your homework, and a new Honda would be perfect. Reliable, fuel efficient, stylish, perfect. But where do you go? Why not your hometown Honda dealer, Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston. We have a nice selection of affordable new Hondas, and when it comes time for service, Ryan Honda's authorized Honda Service Center will keep your Honda running its best for years. Come see us today, your full-service hometown Honda dealership, Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston, or shop RyanHonda.net.
Of all your choices for a financial institution, clearly the best is the West. Western Cooperative Credit Union is money done the Western way. WCCU provides you with good old-fashioned Western hospitality every time you walk through our door. We treat you like neighbors ought to treat each other, because that's just who we are, neighbors. So head west. You'll know you're here when you see the bison on our sign. Join the herd at Western Cooperative Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
McDonald's of Williston is proud to support all the Williston State Teton athletic teams and would like to wish them success this season. McDonald's would like to thank the community of Williston and the surrounding area for your patronage over the years. Hey, the next time you're in town, stop by McDonald's for a great meal or a quick snack. McDonald's of Williston. Breakfast, lunch, or dessert, come on into McDonald's of Williston. Proud to be a part of Teton Athletics and proud to be part of the Williston community.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
Mike Ruder back here for Teton Basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Both teams are shooting around out on the court. Both teams logging some heavy minutes here in this one. Emily Kurkowski for the Tetons, she logged all 20 minutes of those first half that were available to her. Also, Luigi for Lake Region State logging 20 minutes, and Robinson logging 19 minutes as well. Everyone that was dressed out for and along with the trip for Lake Region State has entered the game so far. They are without 3 of their players here today in Williston, so they are facing a very motivated and able Teton team that's been on a roll. Winners of 6 of their last 7, trying to make it 7 of the last 8 and move into a tie for 3rd place with Bismarck State in the Mondax standings. Looking at some of the advanced stats here, 4 minutes left to go before we get ready for quarter number 3. Points in the paint, Lake Region State with 2 points in the paint. Looks like our stats are off a little bit on that one. The official stats that came down from the bench. Points off of turnovers. Lake Region State has the advantage, 11-6 over the Tetons. Second chance points, 14-1 for the Tetons. Lake Region State, one of those second chance points being a free throw off of a foul on one of 2 offensive rebounds for Lake Region. Bench points, Lake Region State with 2, Tetons with 14. Largest lead of the game was the Tetons when they were up by 20 with 6:15 remaining in the second. Lake Region State has not led so far throughout, and Lake Region State held the Tetons scoreless in the last 2 minutes and 33 seconds. So a little bit of a complacent streak there for the Tetons. It happened towards the end of the first quarter as well. When they're defensively, they broke down a little bit, didn't get it back on D quite as often. And that allowed Lake Region State to get into transition. And you can see Raven Robinson, when she either is able to take the ball herself down the court in transition, or when she has someone ahead of her on an outlet, she has made the Tetons pay more times than not here today. Turnovers, Tetons actually have 1 more turnover than the Royals here in the game. 8 for Williston State, 7 for Lake Region State. And assists, Tetons have a 3-assist advantage, 8-5. Leading the assist is De La Fuente for the Tetons when she can flash high in the middle of that 2-3 zone and dump it down low to someone underneath, or if the defense collapse on her, kick out to the outside. McDonald and Kurkowski each hitting multiple 3-pointers for Williston State. 37-24, 2 minutes exactly left before we get going for the third quarter here from Williston. We're going to take a 90-second timeout and be back for the start of the third. You're listening to Teton Basketball right here on 660 Keys News Radio and KZZY.
You don't have to drive hundreds of miles to get a great deal on a new or used vehicle. Price sells cars at Williston Auto. We're in the business of beating the deal from any dealer. Go ahead, shop around from Bismarck to Billings, then bring us their best deal. We'll squish it like a bug and beat it like a rented mule.
No animals or insects were injured while making this commercial.
Price sells cars at Williston Auto and WillistonAuto.com. See dealer for details.
When you're looking for a new or a different home, seek the counsel of the professionals at Basin Brokers. Basin Brokers has offices in Plentywood, Montana, Watford City, and Williston. The realtors at Basin Brokers know the market and will help you find the home that fits your requirements and budget. They're happy to answer all your questions about the area. The real estate office you want to know is Basin Brokers in Watford City, Plentywood, and Williston. Find them online at basinbrokers.com.
G&G Pharmacy, an independent, locally owned retail pharmacy committed to providing you top-notch customer service from their friendly, fast, and knowledgeable staff. Open 7 days a week. G&G Pharmacy offers the convenience of a drive-through window and a traditional retail store. Melissa and Doug toys available at their downtown Service Drug location. And no more wondering when your prescription's ready. Use the mobile app or receive a text message when it's ready from G&G Pharmacy. 572-RXRX. That's 572-7979.
Basketball. We are seconds away from starting the third quarter. Tetons still in a last-second huddle with Coach Triplett. Lake Region State out on the court, and they're making a change to their starting third quarter rotation. Jackson Delorme is going to be starting out on defense for the Royals. Davis taking a seat on the bench. She has 3 fouls. Field brings the ball up the court past the timeline. Over to McDonald, looking to hit Labatt. Nothing there. High post, De La Fuente just couldn't find Labatt. Out to McDonald from the corner. Up and no good. That one's going to be pulled down by Klenig. Klenig pushes it up there. A little hesitation dribble strip, and that's going to be an alternating arrow as a jump ball. That'll give the ball back to Lake Region State. Elizabeth Field did a good job getting in there. Tetons just a little bit late on trying to stop the drive. Inbound pass goes up on top to Robinson. She'll find Klenig. Tries to get her way around the corner again. Over to Ichi. Drives baseline. She's bumped off the mark. Trying to find anyone. Looking for DeLorme. Nothing there. Up on top to Fitzgerald. Three-pointer coming, and that one splashes as well. That is her third three-pointer of the game. The lead is down to 10, 37-27. Field up on top. Tetons trying to attack this 2-3 zone. Field over to McDonald. She drives down to the baseline. Up on top to De La Fuente. Back to Kurkowski on the point. Over to Field. High post to De La Fuente. Low, down low to Labatt. Lots of bumping down low once again. They get it up to Klenig. Taking Kurkowski one-on-one down there. They're going to call a bump foul on Kurkowski. So they're letting these teams bang down low. And unless you drastically come across the arms, nothing is being called underneath. Kurkowski's going to pick up her second personal foul. First team with 8:59 remaining in the third quarter on the American State Bank scoreboard. Inbound pass goes to Huichi. Over to Fitzgerald up on top. Over to Robinson. Picks up a screen. Trying to get her way around. Dumps it off down low to DeLorme. Puts it up. No good. Pulled down by De La Fuente. She'll get it off to Field, who'll push it up there. Surveying the court. Trying to find a teammate. Set up the offense in the half court. Over to McDonald on the far wing. Looking for De La Fuente. Nothing there. Up on top to Field. Now to Kurkowski. Waiting for things to develop once again. And there's going to be... should have been a swatting foul on Huichi. She came down on De La Fuente's wrist, and the ball goes out of bounds, but they just call it off of Lake Region State. Inbound pass coming from the corner. McDonald gets it into De La Fuente up on top. Over to Kurkowski. Swings it to Field. Labatt in the corner, bounce pass to Field, back up on top to Kurkowski. Now McDonald looking down low to Labatt. Big bump into DeLorme, puts the shot up, no good, gets her own rebound stripped away from her, and Fitzgerald comes away with the pass. They'll flip it up to Robinson. She'll look to attack on Field, and McDonald gets it up there, and there's going to be a whistle and a foul called on Elizabeth Field. They call a foul on the floor. So Field picks up her second personal foul, second team foul here in the first 1 minute and 50 seconds on Williston State. Robinson set to inbound. Looking to get it in down low, nothing there. Get it into DeLorme. Back to Robinson. Tries to find it back to DeLorme. That one's going to be swatted away by De La Fuente up to Kurkowski from Field. She looks to attack. She's cut off, and she's going to dribble it. Oh, should have been off Kurkowski's toe and out of bounds, but they'll keep it with Lake Region State. 7:58. Inbound pass to Elizabeth Field. De La Fuente finds McDonald in a backdoor cut. Spot up, 12-footer up, no good, and there's going to be a foul called on Sydney Labatt. Third foul on the Tetons in the first 2 minutes and 8 seconds. So Tetons getting away with a couple, or getting called for a couple of fouls here in the early going. That was just the first personal on Sydney. 37-27. Robinson has it. She'll swing it over to Klenig. Looking down low, nothing there. Swing it back up on top. Robinson gives it back to Fitzgerald. Good closeout by Labatt. Back up on top to Robinson. Step back, three-pointer on the way. Too hard, no good. Pulled down by Emily Kurkowski and the Tetons. 7.5 left to go in the third quarter. Kurkowski out to De La Fuente. McDonald to De La Fuente once again. Now to Field. In the corner to Kurkowski. She gets it into the mid-post area to De La Fuente. Back up on top. They swing it to McDonald. Gets through one lane. Pass is going to be tipped. Taken away there by Lake Region State. Now it's Robinson tied up with Elizabeth Field. Alternating arrow will give it back to the Tetons. Tetons have not scored so far in the first 2 minutes and 50 seconds. And now they are approaching 5 minutes of game time without scoring. McDonald gets it into De La Fuente up on top. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Give it out to McDonald. Baseline drive by Kurkowski. Step back jumper. McDonald in and out. No good. Labatt with the rebound. Puts it up. Gets it to go. Hoop and the harm. And a big sigh of relief for Sydney Labatt as she finally got one to go, as well as getting the whistle. That's going to be the first team foul on Lake Region State. That one goes on Fitzgerald, her second personal. Labatt's free throw up, no good. Long rebound, scrambled, come away for the Tetons. McDonald, low post, gets it back to Labatt. Out to field, cross court to Kurkowski. Quick three-pointer on the way, in and out, no good. Tipped up, come down by Davis, who's back into the game with 3 fouls. Fitzgerald gets it across court to Robinson, who will march it up the court. Under 6:45 on the American State Bank scoreboard. Lead is back to 12 for the Tetons. Field just about with an interception. Robinson trying to get her way through. Find her to someone. Davis from the elbow. Puts it up, and that's off the mark. No good. Field with the rebound. She is a hound for the ball here, as she is the shortest person on the court, coming away with some big rebounds. She picks up the ball, gets it off to Kurkowski. High post to De La Fuente, trying to drive baseline, cut off, down along the baseline, pass to McDonald, up and in it goes. Another long ball for McDonald. That is her 3rd of the game, and the lead is back to 15 for the Tetons. Back comes Robinson, up for Lake Region State. A couple of subs set to check in. Uichi has it, taking a breakdown on McDonald, and she is going to be whistled for a foul on the drive. So that is going to be another foul on Haley McDonald. So it's second one on McDonald, 4th team foul on the Tetons. They have no more to give here for the remaining 6:01 of this 3rd quarter. At the line, Uichi, who at halftime, she had 5 points, trying to cut the lead for Williston State down to just 13. At the charity stripe, standing about 4 inches behind the stripe. Gets herself set, and on the way it goes. That one is up and good. She'll have 1 more remaining. Fitzgerald taking a rare break from the game. She played all but 2 minutes of the first. Second one is up and good, making a 13-point lead, 42-29. Inbound pass, gets the field. Full court press coming for the Royals. Kurkowski up to Labatt. Labatt driving baseline, cut off by DeLorme. Back to Kurkowski, up on top to field. High post to De La Fuente. Looking around, reverse it back to Kurkowski to field. McDonald has it, looking down low. She's going to find Labatt. One dribble out on top. Back it goes to McDonald. Kurkowski over the corner to field. 3 ball up and on the way. That one's no good. Tipped up into the air. Labatt comes down with it. Another opportunity for the Tetons. Fresh 20. Field back down low for Labatt. Takes a big bump, and she's going to be hand all over Labatt's hand when she went up for it. Coach Triplett cannot believe the no call on that one, and he's looking around, can't believe that Labatt didn't get to the line on that play. Robinson back up the court for Lake Region. Hands the ball off to Uichi. Gets to the top of the perimeter to Davis. Davis, pump fake, doesn't take the shot, moves away back around, looking to hand it off to Robinson. Gets into the paint, cut off by De La Fuente. Back to Davis it goes, and she's going to be whistled for the travel. De La Fuente with a good closeout, and Davis went to try to go for a blow-by. Shuffled her feet just as she took off, and she'll come to the bench. Back in for her is going to be number 22, Kyla Fitzgerald. Tetons holding on to that 13-point lead, 42-29. That's going to be Fitzgerald with a takeaway. She was reading that ball fake and reverse pass to McDonald the whole way. Just about had a run-out layup. Inbound pass goes from McDonald to Field. Field over to Kurkowski, looking down low for Labatt. Good seal on DeLorme. De La Fuente looking down there. Labatt has to clear out of the post. Little push shot up from 12 feet by McDonald, and she's going to be called for a foul, trying to go for the rebound. That's going to be another foul on Haley McDonald. So 5th team foul. That's going to be shots coming as we come back from the media timeout. 4:52 left in the 3rd quarter. McDonald just picked up her 3rd. We're going to take a 1-minute break. Be back for more Teton basketball here in Williston.
On Sundays, your NFL team is always playing at Buffalo Wild Wings. With 63 HD TVs having the NFL package, you will not miss a minute of action. Enjoy wings, salads, sandwiches, and more as your teams take the field. Come in and fan up while enjoying the variety of beers on tap from kickoff to the final whistle. Located at 417 Rieger Drive in Williston, North Dakota, football lives here. Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beers, sports.
Performance Plus, something new from American State Bank and Trust Company, an account that fits your active lifestyle. For free digital banking services including bill pay, remote deposit, and e-statements, an instant issue debit card, limited ATM fee refunds, and no maintenance fees. Go to ASBT.com for terms and conditions and stop in our Main or North offices to open your new Performance Plus account. Banking the American State Way. It's banking your way with Performance Plus. Member FDIC.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton Basketball on 660 Keys News Radio and KZZY. Kyla Fitzgerald will be at the stripe for a pair of shots as Haley McDonald picked up her third personal foul. That was the fifth team foul. We are barely under halfway through this third quarter. And Fitzgerald now at the stripe, and the first shot gets up and in. It looks like there was a little bit of an issue at the scores bench trying to get a hold of the official, but that first shot was up and good. Second one as well. Lead is down to 11 for the Tetons. Full court press coming for the Royals. They get it into McDonald. Back to Kurkowski to McDonald. Back up to Haley McDonald. Up to Field. Field gets it across the timeline. Over to Labatt. Drives baseline. She's cut off. Finds Field. Field put it on the deck. Over to McDonald, who had to sky to get the pass. She looks to penetrate drive. Kurkowski in the corner, up on top to McDonald. Good defense by Lake Region. Threads the needle by Kurkowski. Gets it up on top to De La Fuente. Swings it into the corner for Kurkowski. Here's a deep ball. Got it to go. Emily Kurkowski hits her fourth long ball of the game. Extends the lead back to 14, 45-31. Robinson has the ball, pushing it up. She'll hand it off to Huichi. Crosses over. Behind her back dribble, into the paint. Step back, looking for someone. Gets it over to Robinson. Elizabeth Field, good closeout defense. Calling for a screen from DeLorme. Robinson gets through. She tries to get into the paint. Forces one up there and gets that one to go. Tough shot by Raven Robinson. 12-point lead, 45-33. Under 4 minutes left to go in the third. Elizabeth Field has it up on top. Now over to De La Fuente. Back to Field. Looking for Labatt and McDonald. Finally finds McDonald up to Elizabeth Field once again. 15 on the shot clock for Williston State. De La Fuente back up on top to Kurkowski. Left her wide open, and that one is in and out, tipped up, and finally taken down by Huichi. Labatt just about had another offensive board. She's been tipping quite a few of them up. Open is Fitzgerald, and she buries it. Tetons late to get back in rotation, and that's going to make it a 9-point game. Here, +1 in the third quarter is Lake Region State. Down to Labatt. Bangs down low. Gets it to Field. Wide open. Didn't pull the trigger. Up to McDonald. She'll push around to Kurkowski. Now to De La Fuente. She'll go for the little floater. Up, in, and out. No good. Fitzgerald come down with a rebound. Lake Region can make it a 2-possession game on this trip up the court. Robinson kicks it out into the corner. Here's a three-pointer from the wing. That is up and good. First points of the game from Carla Moros. 45-39, 6-point game. 2-possession differential between the two squads. Labatt down low, gets it out to McDonald. Gets into the baseline. Pull up long, 2-point jumper. Up and good for Haley McDonald. Back to 8 points. 2.5 left to go on the American State Bank scoreboard in quarter number 3. Robinson crossing over on Field. She'll get it off to Huichi. Move along the perimeter out to Fitzgerald, who's had the hot hand here. She'll step back again. Another 3 ball. That one is in there. Down to a 5-point game, 47-42. Hot shooting by the Royals. Back comes Field up the court. Labatt looking for it in the mid-post area. De La Fuente finds Labatt. Gonna bang up there. Another, lots of contact underneath, but it was DeLorme went straight up in the air. Fitzgerald trying to drive. She's cut off by a couple of Tetons. Given off to Robinson. Robinson takes off. Cut off by De La Fuente. Goes a floater. That is up. DeLorme gets up in the air, and she's going to be fouled by De La Fuente here with 1:55 left to go. 16 foul. Kansas, his bad horse, set to check back into the game. So Morrow checks out of the game. Back in is going to be Kleinig. Still without Davis. She checked out after playing just a couple of minutes. Here's playing with 3 fouls. DeLorme at the stripe. First of 2. That was just the first personal foul on De La Fuente. That one is up and no good. It's a 5-point game, 47-42. DeLorme can make 1 of 2 and make it just 4. Second one of 2. That is up and good. 4-point game, 47-43. Tetons have scored just 10 points so far through the first 8 minutes of the third quarter. His bad horse picks up the ball, tipped off, and ball goes over to Kurkowski up on top of the perimeter. Field has it over to De La Fuente, gets it onto the low post. They collapse on her, out to Field, cross court, goes to McDonald. She drives, gets into the paint, and she's going to be fouled on her way up. That one is going to, looks like it'll go on DeLorme, who got her arm in there, and that would put Haley McDonald to the line to shoot a pair. Just number 2 on McDonald's second team foul here with 1:33 left to go. First one is up and good from the sophomore guard from Canberra, Australia. Davis set to check back in after the next free throw late to the scorer's table. McDonald for her second one. Up, and that one is off the mark, no good. Lead stays at 5 for the Tetons. Back comes Robinson up the court. She'll push it to the far wing, crossing over on Field, gets by, and she'll float that one up. No good, pulled down by Field, and the ball's going to be tipped up by DeLorme. She loses it out of bounds. Ball will go back to the Tetons. 1:21 left to go in the quarter on the American State Bank scoreboard. DeLorme will check out of the game. Davis checks back in. Tetons, who have led by 20 at this game, now up just 5, 48-43. Elizabeth Field marching her way up the court. His bad horse back to Field on top of the perimeter. Kurkowski back to Field to McDonald. Down low to De La Fuente, who puts it up and in, sneaking along the baseline. Tetons back up by 7, 50-43, trying to hunker down on defense and not allow any more mental lapses. Here they come around, get to the high post of Davis, out to the outside. Fitzgerald's going to be blocked by his bad horse. Her second block of the game. Good defensive recovery. Back comes McDonald up the court, under a minute left to play in the quarter. McDonald over to Kurkowski, now to Field. Down low, it's going to go over to De La Fuente. Gets it out to Field. She'll bring it back out on top. Cross court to McDonald. McDonald, good closeout by Kleining. Gets it to De La Fuente from the cherry stripe. She puts it up and in. 4 straight points by Irene De La Fuente, who's now in double digits for the game. Shot clock is off. 22 seconds left to go in the quarter. Here comes Raven Robinson and the Royals. Guarded one-on-one with Field, just feet from the timeline. 10 seconds left. Here comes Robinson, starts in motion. Screen from Davis. Goes behind it is Field. Step back jumper, up no good. Pulled down by De La Fuente. And McDonald's going to be stripped. Had his bad horse wide open underneath. And Tetons could have given up a last-second heave at 3. They survived that third quarter up by 9 points. 52-43. The Royals got it as close to 4 points. And Coach Triplett, not happy with his output from his squad for most of that third quarter, has had some words with them on the bench and continues to right now. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout and be back with more Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio and KZZY. We're going to keep it right here in between the break. 52-43. Tetons are on top by 9 points, getting into this fourth quarter, 10 minutes up on the clock. Tetons have had some lapses here throughout the game. Coach Triplett coaching his team up. Lots of fouls now, as there wasn't many fouls to speak of coming into that third. Just 3 total team fouls. Now Field has 2, Kurkowski has 2, McDonald has 3, and Labatt has 1. Also, De La Fuente picking up her first. Team fouls are cleared off the scoreboard. Tetons back out on the court. They're going to start this fourth quarter same way they ended the third. Back on the court comes Lake Region State. 10 minutes on the clock for quarter number 4. It'll be Tetons ball here to start. McDonald gets it into Field. She'll march it up back to McDonald. She'll push her way around. Back to his bad horse. Now to McDonald once again. Finds Kurkowski looking for De La Fuente. Can't find her. McDonald. High post to his bad horse. Gets it down to De La Fuente. Out to Kurkowski, who push along. She'll look to attack. Gets in the paint. Flips it to his bad horse. Up to Kurkowski. It'll go. Back to his bad horse. Steps back to the perimeter. Up to Kurkowski. 10 seconds on the shot clock. High post to De La Fuente. Can't find her, but he takes a dribble to Kurkowski. 3-pointer on the way. Got it to go! Number 5 for Emily Kurkowski from downtown. Tetons back up by 12, 55-43. Back comes Robinson and the Royals. She'll get it off to Fitzgerald, who's had the hot hand, guarded closely by his bad horse. Here comes Huichi, drives, gets to the lane, finger roll up and in. And she has been good as well. Short-handed or not, these Royals are giving the Tetons everything they can handle here today. 9:05 left to go in the game. High post, De La Fuente out to field, up to Kurkowski. Moving the ball around to McDonald, his bad horse. Just about stolen away by Robinson. McDonald, bounce pass down low. It's going to get back to his bad horse off the tip. 10 seconds left to go on the shot clock. Field has it. Up on top. High post to his bad horse. Kurkowski again from the outside. That's off the front of the rim. No good. Robinson comes away with it. Tetons get back in transition. D. Fitzgerald with a quick turnaround three-pointer. That's not there. Rush that one before the defense could return. McDonald pushes it back up the court. 8.5 left to go in quarter number 3 on the American State Bank scoreboard. Kurkowski on top. High post to De La Fuente. She finds it back to McDonald. Swing packs it to Field. Fields puts a shot up. Elizabeth Field with her first points of the game. Another long ball, 58-45. Robinson marching it back up the court for the Royals. Gives it off to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald back to Davis, playing with 3 fouls, as is McDonald for the Tetons. Robinson up on top. She'll push her way to the corner, and that'll be up and good from the elbow for Raven Robinson. Makes an 11-point game, 58-47, under 8 minutes left. Elizabeth Field up on the perimeter. High post to De La Fuente. Back out to his bad horse. To Field, looking for Kurkowski. Nothing's there. Kansas, his bad horse, slowing things down. Tetons chewing some time off the clock. Kurkowski over to McDonald. High post to his bad horse. Down low for De La Fuente. Tries to muscle her way through. She's going to strip underneath, and they're going to call a jump ball. Alternating arrow will give it back to the Royals here with 7:32 left to go in the game. DeLorme checking in will go for Davis. Well, DeLorme will set to be the inbound. Give it back to the official now. Inbounded it to Robinson. Robinson jogs it up the court across the timeline. Just under 7.5 left to go in the game. Fitzgerald has it tipped away on the pass intended for Klinik. Kurkowski puts it up and in it goes. A steal and a layup for Emily Kurkowski. She's had another fantastic one. Kleinig brings it back up the court to the top of the perimeter. Hands it off to Robinson. She'll be one-on-one with Field on top. Here comes Huichi around the corner. Robinson tries to take off on Field. Banks it in. Bank is open late, and there's going to be a whistle and a timeout called on the court by the Royals here. 7:01 left to go. It's going to be a short timeout. We'll take a short one as well. Back in 30 seconds.
Invest in yourself at Williston State College.
Scholarship opportunities are available to local and regional students. Eligible students can receive up to $12,000 in tuition and fees.
Make an investment in your education and future with 13 CTE and 15 associate programs, including business management, cybersecurity, agriculture, massage therapy, nursing, petroleum automation, IT, welding, and diesel technology.
Let them help you with that investment in your life. Call 701-774-4200 or visit wilistonstate.edu/scholarships.
Mike, we're back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio and KZZY. Tetons up by 11 points, 60-49, with 7 minutes and 1 second left to go in the fourth quarter on the American State Bank scoreboard. Tetons will be inbounding the ball, trying to chew some more time off the clock and keep this pesky Royal team at arm's length. Here we come. McDonald set to inbound the ball. Full court press coming for the Royals. And get it into Field. Back to McDonald. Will jog it up. Long pass up to his bad horse onto the near wing. Now up to Field, who'll bring it to the top of the perimeter. High post to De La Fuente. Miss Kurkowski underneath. Along on top it goes to Kurkowski. Now swings it down low to Field. On the baseline, looking to get it into his bad horse. His bad horse had to tip it away from Fitzgerald, coming away with a steal. Tips it right to DeLorme, to Robinson. Marching her way down the court, top of the perimeter, over to Huichi. Looking to drive on McDonald, crosses over, taking her baseline. Swings it through, intercepted by Kurkowski. Tipped it away into the hands of De La Fuente. Back comes McDonald and the Tetons, under to 6.5 left to go. McDonald on top, calling for someone to come get the ball. Swings it over to Kurkowski in the near wing. Now to his bad horse. To Field, just about Tipping it away was Fitzgerald, and she collides in with Field. That'll be the first team foul in the quarter for this Royals team. Third team foul coming back into the game is going to be number 12, Carla Moreau. She'll come in for Brooke Klenig. Inbound pass goes to Field, looking for someone to get off. Up on top to his bad horse, Kurkowski. Swings it over to Field. High pass to his bad horse. Puts it on the deck, loses the handle. Out it goes on the perimeter. Back to De La Fuente. Puts it on the deck. She flips it up to his bad horse. Kicks it over to McDonald. McDonald shoots it up and good. McDonald with the long ball as Robinson took a big swipe at her, but got it to go 63-49. Up on top to Fitzgerald. She'll push it along. Hand it off to Moros. Now to Uichi. She drives. Tries to get her way through, goes for the floater, soft out the front of the rim, tipped up in the air by McDonald, and she'll come down with it. 5.5 left to go in the game. Haley McDonald pushing it up the court for Williston State. She'll call the push out. Now to his bad horse, up on top to De La Fuente, swing it to Field. His bad horse, long ball. That is going to be short off the front of the rim. DeLorme comes down with it, pushes it up to Robinson. Robinson looking to push on defense. She steps back, thinks about taking the shot. There's it goes. DeLorme underneath all alone, puts it up and in. Got the transition defense for the Tetons. De La Fuente was up to challenge Robinson on top and let DeLorme slip through down to the baseline. Kurkowski swings it over to his bad horse. Low post to De La Fuente. Over to Kurkowski. Has to sky to grab the rebound. Field. Pump fake. Over to McDonald. Goes for a little floater from the baseline. Up and over everything. Fitzgerald comes away with it. Gets it up to Robinson. One-on-one with Elizabeth. Gets to the bucket and puts it up and in. 4 straight points for the Royals. Makes it a 10-point game. 63-53. 4.5 left to go. Elizabeth Field gets it off to his bad horse. Up on top. Over to McDonald along the far wing. Back to Kansas. Kansas swings it over to Kurkowski. Gets it back to his bad horse. Now to McDonald. 13 on the shot clock, waiting for some action. De La Fuente on the baseline, drives baseline. She's going to lay it up off the side of the backboard. Missed that one badly. Long pass up to Robinson. Give and go. Going to be tipped away by McDonald, and she'll scramble on the ground for it. Ball is still loose. It'll be picked up by Kurkowski. Robinson and McDonald a little shaken up. Back on her feet comes McDonald. Robinson slow to get back in defense, and there's going to be an injury timeout called with 3:52 left to go. As the officials are still talking things over, they have the ball, and they called the stoppage with Robinson in the front court. So there'll be a media timeout here called with 3:52 remaining in the game. Tetons up by 10, 63-53. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout, and we'll be back for the conclusion of the fourth quarter. You're listening to Teton Basketball on 660 Keys News Radio and KZZY.
So you need a new vehicle. You've done your homework, and a new Honda would be perfect. Reliable, fuel efficient, stylish, perfect. But where do you go? Why not your hometown Honda dealer, Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston. We have a nice selection of affordable new Hondas, and when it comes time for service, Ryan Honda's authorized Honda Service Center will keep your Honda running its best for years. Come see us today, your full-service hometown Honda dealership, Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston, or shop RyanHonda.net.
Of all your choices for a financial institution, clearly the best is the West. Western Cooperative Credit Union is money done the Western way. WCCU provides you with good old-fashioned Western hospitality every time you walk through our door. We treat you like neighbors ought to treat each other, because that's just who we are, neighbors. So head west. You'll know you're here when you see the bison on our sign. Join the herd at Western Cooperative Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton Basketball. 3:52 left in the game on the American State Bank scoreboard. Kansas, his bad horse, gets the inbound pass, gets it up to Kurkowski on top. This Royals team, Barry Pesky, played the Tetons easy throughout what we've played so far in the second half. Field on the near wing, down on the baseline to his bad horse. Back to Field. 9 on the shot clock. Turnaround jumper up by De La Fuente. Rushed it on the way up. Soft off the front of the rim. Getting back in transition. She's going to tip the pass down by Huichi, who puts it up and in. Tough shot. Gets it a drop. Single-digit lead for the Tetons. Down to 8 points. 3:15 left in the game. Haley McDonald bringing it across the timeline. Over to his bad horse. Now to Kurkowski. Back to Kansas. Swings it along to McDonald. Playing very close is Robinson and touched out of bounds by Huichi. Inbound pass coming for the Tetons. 3:04 left to go. 15 on the shot clock. Field set to inbound from her own sideline. Gets it into De La Fuente. Back to Field. Up on top to McDonald. Over to Kurkowski, who comes back to receive the ball. Playing down there. Get it down low to his bad horse. Puts it up and in. De La Fuente to his bad horse for the bucket. Gets it back to 10 under 3 minutes left. Here comes Robinson. Thinks about a pull-up three-pointer. Steps back. Gets it over to Fitzgerald. Now over to Kleinig. Kleinig working away around the perimeter. In the corner, it'll go to Huichi. 3 lets one fly, and that one is in there. 7 point. Down, they call it a 2, or now they put a 3 on the scoreboard. Just a 7-point lead for the Tetons. 2.5 left to play. McDonald coming back in. His bad horse back to McDonald. Swings it to Fields. It's going to be intercepted. On the run out, if she can get to the ball, is Robinson. Puts it up and in. 5-point lead now for Williston State. 65-62, 10 left to play. Field coming back up the court to his bad horse. Pump fake over to McDonald, back to Field, now finds a Kurkowski. Kurkowski back to Elizabeth. Now to McDonald on the far wing. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Kurkowski lets one fly. Got it to go! Huge shot by Emily Kurkowski, breaking it back out to 8 points. Robinson and the Royals back up the court. She's going to hand the ball off to Fitzgerald. Head and shoulders fake. She's going to drive back down low. Throw one up at the rim. No good. Pulled down by his bad horse. Tetons come away with it. 1:35 as Emily Kurkowski crosses the timeline. She'll get it off to his bad horse. Back to Kurkowski on the near wing just to the top of the perimeter. Puts the ball on the deck. Finds Elizabeth Field. One dribble. Now she brings it to the top of the perimeter over to McDonald. Looking for his bad horse. High post. Nothing there. Now back to Field. 10 on the shot clock. 1:15 left in the game. Field trying to find someone. Here's the mid-range jumper from De La Fuente. That's up, no good. Tipped right in the hands of Huichi. She's on the push. She's taking the Tetons on 1-on-3, and McDonald's going to strip it from her, but off the fingertips of Huichi, and he'll stay with the Royals. 1:03 left to go. Coming into the game is DeLorme. She'll come in for Davis. Robbins set to inbound the ball from underneath her own basket. 26 left on the shot clock. Inbound pass goes. Going to be tipped out of there by McDonald, but it'll say last touch by the Tetons. McDonald in a nice denial on that entry pass. Once again, it'll be the Royals setting to inbound it. Looking to find someone off to another good denial into Huichi. She's going to muscle her way in against Elizabeth Field and gets up over the top. A little bit of gamble defense by McDonald. Doesn't pay off. 6-point lead, 68-62. Kurkowski comes back and gets the ball from Field. She pushes to the top of the perimeter. Kicks it over to McDonald, who pushes it back up. Now to Kurkowski. Will walk it back out. 44 seconds left to go. Royals going to have to consider fouling. Tetons keep it away. 12 seconds left on the shot clock. Over to McDonald. McDonald pushing her way through. Swing pass out to De La Fuente. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. De La Fuente with a floater up, and that one's going to be called a foul. It'll send Irene De La Fuente to the line to shoot 2 and extend it to a 3-possession game with 30 seconds left to go. So a little late to try and really put a surge on to foul are the Royals. De La Fuente at the stripe for her first shots from the charity stripe in the game. First one on the way. That is going to be too hard. No good. Still remains a 2-possession game. De La Fuente can look to try to make it a 3. Royals will be calling timeout as soon as the ball is brought down on a miss. De La Fuente's second of 2 on the way. That one is in there. It goes, making it a 7-point game. Timeout call by the Royals. 30.2 seconds left. It's going to be a full timeout. We'll take a full one as well. Back here for more Teton basketball in 60 seconds.
From their humble beginnings in 1910 through 4 generations, family-owned First International Bank and Trust has been delivering on the promise to help dreams come true, one customer at a time. Their style of banking places the focus on you first and your overall experience, keeping your best interests in mind and striving to provide smart financial solutions that improve and simplify your life, letting you get back to what matters most. First International Bank and Trust. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
Mike, we're back here at the Well in Williston for Teton basketball. Teton's up with 30.2 seconds left to go, 69-62. Royals inbounding the ball on their side of the court. After the timeout, they were able to advance the ball. Fitzgerald set to inbound. Robinson popping up onto the high side. She's trying to get it over onto the hands of Kleinig. She's going to drive, trying to get to the hoop. Flips it out to Fitzgerald. Catch and shoot. That's off the mark. No good. Pulled down by De La Fuente. Bounce pass over to McDonald. She'll get it up towards the timeline, and there's going to be a whistle and a foul called on Huichi here with 17.4 seconds left to go. 13 seconds elapsed from the inbound play to that foul. Third team foul, so still 2 fouls left to give. Field gets the inbound pass across the timeline. Crossover. She'll drive on Robinson. Peel back out. Hands it off to McDonald. 10 seconds left of the game. Tetons are going to hang on to win on this one. They thought would be a lot further apart. Tetons will end up winning 69-62 as time expires. Wasn't pretty, but they got the job done. Tetons now improve on their season up to 10 wins and 6 losses and 6-3 overall in the conference. And they're on a 4-game win streak. Here we are about a half hour away before the men's game begins, but we still have the First International Bank and Trust post-game show coming up here on 660 Keys News Radio and KYYZ. We're going to step aside for a 3-minute timeout and be back for the First International Bank and Trust post-game show. Back in 3.
McDonald's of Williston is proud to support all the Williston State Teton athletic teams and would like to wish them success this season. McDonald's would like to thank the community of Williston and the surrounding area for your patronage over the years. Hey, the next time you're in town, stop by McDonald's for a great meal or a quick snack. McDonald's of Williston. Breakfast, lunch, or dessert, come on into McDonald's of Williston. Proud to be a part of Teton Athletics and proud to be part of the Williston community.
You don't have to drive hundreds of miles to get a great deal on a new or used vehicle. Price sells cars at Williston Auto. We're in the business of beating the deal from any dealer. Go ahead, shop around from Bismarck to Billings. Then bring us their best deal. We'll squish it like a bug and beat it like a rented mule.
No animals or insects were injured while making this commercial.
Price sells cars at Williston Auto and WillistonAuto.com. See dealer for details.
From their humble beginnings in 1910 through 4 generations, family-owned First International Bank and Trust has been delivering on the promise to help dreams come true, one customer at a time. Their style of banking places the focus on you first and your overall experience, keeping your best interests in mind and striving to provide smart financial solutions that improve and simplify your life, letting you get back to what matters most. First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
G&G Pharmacy, an independent, locally owned retail pharmacy committed to providing you top-notch customer service from their friendly, fast, and knowledgeable staff. Open 7 days a week. G&G Pharmacy offers the convenience of a drive-through window and a traditional retail store. Melissa and Doug toys available at their downtown Service Drug location. And no more wondering when your prescription's ready. Use the mobile app or receive a text message when it's ready from G&G Pharmacy. 572-RXRX. That's 572-7979.
On Sundays, your NFL team is always playing at Buffalo Wild Wings. With 63 HD TVs having the NFL package, you will not miss a minute of action. Enjoy wings, salads, sandwiches, and more as your teams take the field. Come in and fan up while enjoying the variety of beers on tap from kickoff to the final whistle. Located at 417 Rieger Drive in Williston, North Dakota, football lives here. Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beers, sports.
Invest in yourself at Williston State College.
Scholarship opportunities are available to local and regional students. Eligible students can receive up to $12,000 in tuition and fees.
Make an investment in your education and future with 13 CTE and 15 associate programs, including business management, cybersecurity, agriculture, massage therapy, nursing, petroleum automation, IT, welding, and diesel technology.
Let them help you with that investment in your life. Call 701-774-4200 or visit wilistonstate.edu/scholarships.
Liker back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio and KZZY. We have just under 23 minutes before we get going for the men's game. Both teams out on the court. First game ended a little bit early, so they get a couple extra minutes to warm up here. But for right now, we'll give you the post-game report and tell you how each team did statistically. Starting off with Lake Region State, leading the way in scoring was Kyla Fitzgerald. She had 18 points, 5 of 10 from the field, including, and all of those were from beyond the arc, so she was 5 for 8 from downtown and 3 of 4 from the charity stripe. Raven Robinson had 14 points in the game, 7 of 19 from the field. Tiziana Huichi had 16 points, going 6 of 11 overall, 1 of 3 from downtown and 3 of 4 from the line. 6 points in the game by Brooke Kleinig. She was 3 of 3 from the field. 5 points by Jackson Delorme, 2 of 3 from the field and 1 of 2 from the stripe. And Carla Morose with 3 points, hitting a three-pointer in the contest. Looking at shooting in the second half for Lake Region, the third quarter, team was 5 for 11 for 45%, 4 for 5 for downtown for 80%, and 5 for 6 from the stripe for 83%. In the fourth quarter, 9 of 13 for 69%, 1 of 3 from downtown for 33%. Overall shooting in the game, they were 24 of 49 from the field for 49%. From beyond the arc, an impressive 7 of 16 for 43% and hit 7 of their 10 free throws. Looking at the Tetons in their scoring, leading the way was Emily Kurkowski. She had 8 of 5, 8 of 15 overall, 6 of 13 from beyond the arc for 22 points. Haley McDonald was 7 of 15 from the field, 4 of 7 from downtown. Irene De La Fuente was 6 of 16 overall and 1 of 2 from the line. 6 points by Sydney Labatt, 2 of 8 shooting, 2 of 5 from the charity stripe. 3 points by Elizabeth Field, shooting 1 of 2 from deep. 2 points by Kylie Oldelk, 1 of 2 shooting. 2 points by Kansas His Bad Horse on 1 of 5 shooting. And 2 points by Yasmin Butler, going 1 of 1 from the field. In the third quarter, Teton shot 6 of 17 for 35%, 2 of 7 from beyond the arc for 28%, and 1 of 3 from the line. In the fourth quarter, they were 6 of 13 for 46%, 4 of 6 from beyond the arc for 66%, and 1 of 2 from the line for 50%. Overall in the game, Williston State was 27 of 64 for 42%, 11 of 25 from beyond the arc for 44%, and just 4 of 9 from the charity stripe for 44%. Looking at rebounding for both teams, Lake Region State pulled down 27 rebounds in the game. Getting a double digits in rebounding was Kyla Fitzgerald. She had a double-double, 18 points and 10 rebounds, all coming on the defensive end. 23 defensive rebounds and 4 offensive rebounds for Lake Region, 3 of those being team rebounds. For the Tetons rebounding, they had 39 rebounds. De La Fuente had a double-double herself, going 13 and 10 with 8 defensive rebounds and 2 offensive rebounds. Sydney Labatt had 5 offensive boards in the game. Total for the Tetons, 24 defensive rebounds and 15 huge offensive rebounds. Turnovers in the game, 12 for the Royals, 11 for the Tetons. Looking at some of the advanced stats here. Points in the paint, points off at turnovers. Lake Region State came back. They had an 13